Hey guys, you saw the title of the video. That's what we're doing today, so let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and start with the fact that we have ourselves an empty spool of wire. So we're going to turn this clockwise. Get this off. We'll take this out. There we go. And this is 030 wire, Vulcan. Same stuff from, I guess, Princess, Auto, or Harbor Freight Tools wire. So let's go ahead and get that out of there. You're going to want to make sure this thing is able to be turned on because we're going to get this excess wire out of here. So let's go grab our wire cutters. I'm going to cut the excess out right there. Only to make an end, because you will see these have a little tiny like edge on the edge of that, and that'll get hung up on your wire right here. So don't do that. All right, turn it on. Grab your whip. Pull the trigger. And notice it stopped feeding. Now you can grab the wire and just pull it out. Just like that. There you go. Now you should not have any wire in here whatsoever. Take the rest of this excess stuff. Just be careful. This stuff can come back up and hit you in the eye. So I usually just bow it up like this. Give it a twist, grab one of the little ends, like that with it, puts it in a nice little bow. It won't spring back on you and open up and poke you in the eye. So make sure you do all the safety stuff. All right, now let's go ahead and get our new wire put into place. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a roller out. There we go. And you can see we've got a little bit of boogerage on there. Okay, so in respect to our fellow YouTuber Fix-It guys, so I got a little piece of paper towel here, just Costco paper towel, nothing particularly special. I got our roller right here for the wire and some kind of cleaner. I just found out at the filming of this and I just ran completely out of brake clean, which is what I usually use because I just try to find something that doesn't have really any oily residue afterwards. You don't want this getting caked up with oil and causing all kinds of problems later. You know what I mean? It gets dust and stuff like that. When you're welding, you're in a dusty environment. But anyway, I just give a little spritzing. God, this stuff is ages old, but it'll be fine. And we just give a little go in here with this. Just use a little bit of a fingernail or something like that just to kind of get in there. See, we're getting stuff off of it. Not too bad. And I don't like how all the little fuzz bunnies are still in there. So I might just actually take a toothbrush to this, as a matter of fact. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of how dirty this is. What'll end up happening is if dirt gets locked up in here, enough of it will cause it to start just rubbing past the wire instead of pulling it through. And that's not what we want to have happen. All right, so we have ourselves just a little toothbrush here, and let's just go ahead and get in there. Just a nice little soft bristle brush. I don't usually like to try to hit these with like a wire brush or anything like that, just to keep it nice. And that's all we're doing. We're just trying to get the dust bunnies out. It's not that big of a deal. I'm going to hit it with some more of this real fast. Get it all in there, just like that. And we just give her a little scrub. Just get that clean. Get it dry. It should dry pretty fast on its own. Any more little dust or residue out of there, and we should be good to go. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call that clean. That's looking a whole lot better than it was. I'll get you in there. There we go. Nice and clean all the way around. And since we're gonna be setting up with 035, we'll make sure that's sitting on the 035 setting right there. It's a nice little system. Just push it in. Just like that, and select the gauge you want to use. There we go. We're on 035. I have not been experiencing any issues with the liner whatsoever, so we're just going to go ahead and leave that alone. But just for fun, we're just going to take our little paper towel that has some of this stuff on it. Just like that. And we're going to take it against this top roller too. Just for fun. Just keeps the boogers off of there. There we go. We got a little bit of some stuff off of it. So we did something. There we go. Good to go. All right. Now let's go ahead and get our new roll and put it in there. Same Harbor Freight tool special. I like this stuff a lot because it's all ER70S. It's pretty much the same thing. I've had a pretty good time building with it. Case in point.
Much better.
All right. Pull this out of the box. And we've got a nice plastic wrapped spool of wire. I don't like to waste any time, so I just take a pair of pliers like this, grab that little end, pull, it comes right out. Hold it with your thumb because this whole thing will unspool real fast. Now let's go ahead and clip this off. Good. Now I like to make sure this hole is lined up. Put this little guy up here. I'm going to turn that so you guys can see it better. Got a little guy up here, and that'll make sure that this stays in the right position all the time. Okay. Now I just hold on to it with my fingers down here while I slide this over. Take that out for now. Don't need that. And we're in. Up. There we go. And you can always tell when you're in because you'll hear that ba-ding, ba-ding. It's like that. And this will spin with this because all of this is all part of the tensioning system. So now we'll feed this in like this into the whip. I like feeding it into the whip like this because then you can let go of it. Give you some room. And you just put that back on top of there and retension it. Now I like to keep my tension right around at what feels good that's coming out of the whip. I'll explain that in just a second. All right, now we're back to this guy here. I think it's feeling okay, but let's go ahead and get this on here. Now I have a wrench specifically for my welders. In this case, it's a 13 mil that moves this little nut. Now I don't usually mess with that nut unless I'm changing wire sizes, in which I'm doing today. So we're probably gonna have to mess with that tension. I want to see how it rolls. There we go. See how it rolls here in just a second. Let's go ahead and fire it up. We're gonna go ahead and push that trigger and see how it rolls. That's not too bad. So you notice that it's not sort of free running itself. So it's nice and it's still tight, but I'm wondering if it's almost too tight. So we're gonna kick up the wire feed to 100% and see how it rolls. Yeah, that's not too bad. Just because we're trying to feed the wire through. There we go. Now we have wire out of here. I always like to take a good look at what the condition of the wire is when it comes out of this little the liner. So when this comes out of the liner and the edge of the liner looks dirty, like right in here, if it looks dirty, if it's full of some copper dust or whatever from whatever you were welding with, well, then you know that you got kind of a dusty, dirty liner. But in this case, we do not, so we're pretty good. Now, what I like to do to check tension, just kind of see where we're at here. If this will move, if I can push it, and it wants to go any further than like what it's doing now, it's probably too loose. And the reason being that I test it this way, I'll just make this quick, is once it's rolling and you're starting to weld, what this thing will like to do is it'll unspool itself, it'll create slack like this, and it'll hop over, and then you'll get a knot right there, and it'll mess up your time welding, and you're not going to have fun at all. I like it to maintain a certain amount of pressure so that that wire does not hop over, or worse yet, kind of free spools itself, and then you end up in a lot of trouble. So keep that in mind. Make sure your tension is just enough so it won't want to wander on its own. Since this is a little bit heavier though, I think I will give it probably a half turn. So right there. Okay. Now you can definitely hear a difference. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn it back on. We're only gonna feed, and I'm gonna feed and stop, feed and stop. Kind of replicates a tack. And that looks really good to me. Pretty good, okay. So this wire tension here, let's go ahead and make sure that we're set up properly for that. So one of the things I like to do with the roller tensioner here and to test that is just by grabbing this guy, turn it on, and see. And I'm holding on to that with a pretty good amount of pressure, so I'll show you what I'm looking at. There we go. See how it just decides to want to stop? But it still gives you just enough power to be able to push through if there's something at the edge of there without binding up in here. That's what you want to be careful of. It's not going to try to slinky itself into this little liner here, and then you're good to go. And if it's not doing that, your tension is probably pretty good. I usually keep mine set at just under 2. So it's never usually that tight. I used to know guys that would actually like reef that all the way down to like 10. It was just ridiculous. No need for any of that. Let's get rid of that excess. So I give myself a little toot, just like that. And we'll cut it off right there. There we go. Let's go ahead and change our tip. This is our previous tip, which wasn't too terrible. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and get that off of there. Probably time for a new one anyway. Make sure this is on there tight. I don't usually do any more than just hand tight with these. So we'll just give her a little oomph like that. Nothing too crazy. Put our new tip on. Another thing that I usually just don't go any more than hand tight with. Give ourselves a little one of those. And you put this back on. Let's clean that cup while we're at it. I just usually go like this. A lot of stuff usually just comes right out. You have a pair of good Welpers, which I don't. At this time, I had mine stolen. I just grab a little teeny tiny flathead and like that. There we go. And this all starts kind of chipping out. There we go. Now we got one good clean cup. Go ahead and put this on. And you're ready to rock. You are ready to weld. So here's kind of a bonus tip for you. If you're welding this stuff here, the ER70S, the copperish kind of stuff, I like to use the 75-25 gas. And I like to have this, which would be the electrode, be positive and the ground be negative. When I'm using flux core, I switch those around. This becomes negative, the other becomes positive. And it seems to work pretty good for me. I mean, I built a whole smoker out of it, so. All right, guys, that's it. That'll pretty much wrap this up. The next scene's gonna be me welding some stuff, so take care. And remember, if you like the video, give one of these if you can. It always helps out. It's cool. I would appreciate it. And subscribe for more weird, random stuff like this too. So hopefully it was helpful.